What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Unhinged Talk. As usual, I'm your host, Patrick Hennessy, joined today by Paraskevas Xenofantos and Sean Petrucci. How we doing tonight, boys?
Fantastic.
Amazing.
We're all amazing. Not like the Mets, though. The Mets are amazing with their new owner. But we have a Yankees topic to talk about today. It's kind of in the boring part of the offseason, but I believe it's the Dominican Winter League or whatever's going on.
I think it is. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Winter Leagues.
So the Yankees have a few players down there. I know for a fact Domingo German, who we're going to talk about tonight, and Miguel Andujar are both down there. Let's just say Domingo German pitched his first game since the domestic abuse suspension from 2019. And you know what? He did pretty solid. He pitched 4 no-hit innings. You could take that however you want it. I guess it's still kind of good to see that he didn't suck. Like, especially him not pitching the entirety of last season. And I'm assuming the Yankees are going to consider him as a potential rotation piece this spring, regardless of how we feel about him. I still think they're going to go down that road. So, Parral, I'll start off with you. Like, do you have any takeaways? Do you think 4 no-hit innings from Domingo last night means anything?
I mean, the last season he pitched, he was a little inconsistent, but there was games he showed what kind of pitcher he is. Like there was games against the Mets, against the Red Sox, where he dominated for a good 7 innings. So I'm not surprised that he had 4 no-hit innings, regardless of who's on the roster. I feel like Domingo German can have full potential to be a solid 3-4 pitcher in the Yankees rotation. But like you said, I don't know what road the Yankees are going to go down because when they mentioned him during the offseason talks, during the postseason, they kind of wanted to downplay it because what was his suspension upheld by the MLB, but the Yankees didn't really go forward saying his suspension's upheld. So
yeah,
I really don't know how they're going to go with the approach of Domingo German in the rotation next year.
Yeah.
So
I
honestly,
mean,
it'll be solid, but everybody has their own
thing-
opinion about the situation.
My thing is, if the Yankees had like solidified pitchers in their rotation right now, where they didn't have any open spots, I don't think they would even be considering bringing Herman back. However, if you look at their rotation right now, let's say they don't re-sign Tanaka, let's say they don't re-sign Paxton, their rotation is in pretty bad shape.
Empty.
Like I think their number 2 is who, Devi?
On the roster currently, yeah.
Yeah, and then who else would you have in there? Like Clark Schmidt.
When Sevy comes back.
When Sevy comes back, their rotation will Cole, Sevy, Montgomery, Garcia, and Clark Schmidt.
I mean, that's why you need Tanaka back, but that's a conversation for another day. Or you need at least like another decent starting pitcher in that rotation. Because I mean, it's a shame that
Bauer.
I would love Trevor Bauer, but once again, I don't think the Yankees agree with me on that. No. But that's another story.
No shot.
But yeah, I do think that Domingo. Listen, if Domingo German can come back for the Yankees next season, give them like a 4 ERA and make like 20 to 25 starts, I'll take it. Because like that's better than what we would get from like J-Hap. And unfortunately, I mean, he's kind of an arm you might trust in the postseason, either if it's out of the bullpen or making a start somewhere. Because I trust him any day over J-Hap, if we're being completely honest.
I think we would have seen him in the 2019 postseason, but he literally got suspended, I think, a week or 2 before the postseason started. So,
yeah,
that's when he was cruising too.
Do you guys remember there were literally talks of him potentially starting game 1 of the ALDS? This was before Paxton's like crazy month of September, and the Yankees didn't really have like a solidified game 1 guy. So there were talks of Domingo German starting game 1. So it was a fall from grace, but listen, if the guy can get himself together and if he's a changed person, I don't really see any reason to just.
Did it ever come out like exactly what he did, like the extent of it?
I mean, I'm sure the Yankees know.
I was like, if the Yankees know and they're allowing him to stay on the roster, then it couldn't have been that bad. I hope.
Yeah, but
I hope they're not like hiding it and just being like, oh well, we need a pitcher, so let's just keep him.
I mean, all they really said is after CC Sabathia's event, he was seen hitting his girlfriend by an MLB executive, and that's all they said. They didn't really go into detail. There wasn't really a police report. So,
do you guys remember though? I don't know who said it. It was a press conference, either sometime during the season or after the season. It was either Boone or Cash, and they were asked about Domingo. It might have been when all the stuff was going on when he announced his retirement, and then he's like, "Just kidding,
Oh,
I'm not retiring." Like
that was a
that was a
mess.
disaster. And I think it was Boone who said, "Yeah, after like the tragic events that happened, he needs to like change his life
Oh
around or
yeah.
something."
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and that kind of led me to believe that the incident was much more serious than what we were led
Yeah.
to believe.
Like
So
tragic.
yeah, like I understand like domestic abuse is terrible and it should never happen, but I've never seen like a team or anything classify like a player hitting their girlfriend as a tragic situation. So I hope that it's really not deeper than the surface, even though the surface is already very bad. So if it's worse than that, the Yankees have a real problem on their hands. Especially if they're hiding it from everybody because
Yeah,
that's
he shouldn't be
terrible.
a Yankee if that's the case,
Yeah.
or
Because
on any team.
but that's my thing though. Like I mention this all the time. The Yankees have weird moral standards when it comes to certain things. Like we know that like they're not a fan of beards and long hair, but like domestic abuse. Like sure, we still want you
Yeah.
on the team. They traded for Chapman mid investigation. So as
Sure.
far as Herman goes, I don't think they really care. I think that he's going to play a part for this team in 2021. Um, I think we still have a few months left. Do we know how long the Winter League goes on for?
I think it
No.
goes up until like January.
Yeah, I mean, so
He
that
probably
means
has a
that he
couple
has
more
like,
starts.
yeah, I mean, but this is perfect for him because after not playing all of 2020 and for part of 2019, he's probably rusty as hell. So if he could get these 2 months or whatever it is under his belt and then come back for spring training, hopefully in March, and I guess we'll see where he goes from there. But other than Herman, were you able to see what Luis Gill or Luis Hill, however you pronounce it, did last night?
No.
No.
I
I was trying to find
I
a box
saw
score, but it's like
I
all
think
in.
he gave up one run right after Domingo.
Yeah,
I'm not
I
sure.
saw.
Let me see.
I don't think they were on the same team though, were they?
No,
No.
Abreu and Gill are on the other team that they played.
I could be mistaken. Let me see if
Hold
I
on,
can.
maybe I could find it. No, I don't think so. I don't know. It's very it's weird.
Yeah, I mean, regardless, I still think because he went up against the Mariners' top prospect. I think his name's Julio Rodriguez.
He's good.
Yeah, and they had a pretty good battle. So I don't know. I think that it's fun to see a bunch of the Yankees guys.
Could be trade pieces.
Yeah, especially Luis Gill, who
And
could
Abreu,
be
yeah.
in a trade for like Francisco Lindor. Just saying. But unless you
Hint,
guys
hint.
have anything to add to the conversation, I think it's gonna wrap it up for us tonight.
I just hope that this situation isn't too bad if he's going to stay in the team. That's really
Yeah,
it. If he's
I agree.
clean, if he's fine, then give him a shot. But if
Because
not, then
also
get him
like
out of here.
my thing also is like we might insinuate that the situation's worse than they said, but it might also be non-existent. You know what I'm
Very
saying?
true.
Like it might have never even happened because I don't think there's any criminal charges or it was just like a word of an MLB executive.
Yeah.
So who are we to say whether if it's better or worse? But we can only go based on what we heard. So
I'll trust the judgment. Put
yeah.
it that way, I guess.
Yeah, I guess we just have to put faith in the organization at this point. But
Mhm.
it's gonna wrap it up for us tonight. Stay tuned for all of our live broadcasts Monday night, Wednesday night, Friday nights. Talking
And
all
Thursday.
Yankees baseball.
And Thursday.
And Thursday. Thursday is Unhinged Trivia. So stay tuned for those.
Must see.
It's a must-see show. Quality, your reigning champion. So just stay tuned for that. Yeah, we're gonna be producing content all season. So yeah, we will see you guys next time. Have a good night, everybody.